Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці.
Dear Ukrainians, I wish you health. On November 9th, the day started very early with a meeting of the staff of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief. The situation at the front line was analyzed in detail. South, East, very carefully, Donbass. The greatest confrontation is now in Donetsk region. It is very important. A lot is being decided there. Any losses there are further losses in the country. That's why we stand. We stand firm. We don't surrender anything. I thank each of our heroes who are holding back these terrible attacks of the occupiers. Constant attacks. South. We are moving gradually, strengthening our positions step by step. There is a lot of joy in the media space on November 9th, and it is clear why. But our emotions must be restrained, always during war. I will definitely not feed the enemy with all the details of our operations, either in the south or in the east, or anywhere else. When we have our result, everyone will see it. For sure. Maybe it doesn't sound like what anyone expects now, maybe not as in the news. But you need to understand, no one just gets away if they don't feel the strength. The enemy does not bring up gifts, does not make gestures of goodwill. We fight our way up, and when you are fighting, you must understand that every step is always resistance from the enemy. It is always at the loss of the lives of our heroes. Therefore, we move very carefully, without emotions, without unnecessary risk, in the interests of the liberation of our entire land, and so that the losses are as small as possible. This is how we will secure the liberation of Kherson, Kakhovka, Donetsk, and other our cities. But this will be the result of our efforts, our defense operations, those that are currently ongoing, those that we are planning. And now I want separately and once again to warn everyone in Moscow who makes the relevant decisions. Any attempt by you to blow up the Kakhovka hydropower plant and flood our territory and dehydrate the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant will mean that you are declaring war on the whole world. Think what will happen to you then. At the meeting of the staff, we also discussed the supply and production of weapons, our weapons, the repair of equipment, the strengthening of our anti-aircraft and anti-missile defense, which is ongoing, the recovery of critical infrastructure, primarily energy, after the Russian terrorist attacks. As of this evening, there are electricity blackouts to stabilize the situation in 15 regions and the city of Kyiv. There are no emergency blackouts. Whether electricity is out, it should be in accordance with published schedules. Please, if the blackout at your house or street is not on schedule on November 9th, notify the local authorities and representatives of the energy company that serves you. They must change the situation and stick to the schedule. I spoke on November 9th with Prime Minister of Netherlands, Mark Rutte, just about recovering our energy sector, protecting the Ukrainian sky. Thank you for your willingness to help. Separately, we discussed the export grain initiative, the fundamental need to extend and expand our grain exports. We agreed to cooperate even more closely to support Ukrainian initiatives at the UN. Tomorrow will be a very active negotiation day. Many contacts are planned. It is these days that we are completing our preparations for Ukraine's possible participation in the G20 summit next week. The Ukrainian stance has been shaped. As always, our stance will be in the interests of global security. In the evening, I signed another decree on awarding our heroes. 106 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine were given state awards. And one more thing is very important. November 9th is the day of Ukrainian writing and language and the Ukrainian Day of Cultural Workers and Masters of Folk Art. There was also a dictation of national unity. I thank everyone who joined writing the dictation. It is an important annual tradition. And you know, on November 9th I want to congratulate not only those who teach languages and literature, work in the field of culture and preserve folk art. I want to congratulate all our people. Ukraine holds, Ukraine defends itself and will definitely defend. It is no longer a question of whether Ukraine and everything Ukrainian exists. Ukraine will exist, and our enemy will die. They will die like the dew does in the sunshine, or like the Russian river crossings under the strikes of HIMARS systems. Glory to Ukraine.